The Safe Love Podcast is a powerful podcast with honest conversations about healthy and unhealthy relationships. We break down red flags, emotional abuse, domestic violence, trauma, boundaries, and healing. This channel is about awareness, clarity, and empowerment. Follow me for more talk weekly. Conversation Love Podcast. The Safe Love Podcast.
What would you do if you believe your child was in danger? Would you love them, or would it make you brave? Or would you fear who would make you brave and do something you would regret? Today we're talking about a heartbreaking case out of Memphis, Tennessee that raised a lot of awareness, and that is difficult question that people are asking about parenting, protecting, accountability, and what safe love really looks like. Welcome back to the Safe Love Podcast. I'm the host, Phenomenal Mindy. If you haven't already, make sure you share, like, and subscribe to the channel, and keep me in the For You page of all of the social media sites, where we have to be honest and have honest conversation about healthy relationships, emotional healing. We talk about everything from family dynamics, from creating safe love in every areas of our life. Today's episode, again, I will have to say, is difficult and delicate. A Memphis mother has been accused of unaliving a man she reportedly found hidden under her daughter's bed. It is a story that has captured attention because it immediately raised powerful emotions. Many people are asking, was she protecting her child? Or others are asking, could this have been the end of something that was different? Today, I don't want you to rush to judgment. We're not here to put her on the trial stand. We're not here to convict her. We let the courts do that. I want us to slow down, slow it all the way down, and ask a bigger question. What does safe love look like when fear enters their doggone room, okay? What does safe love feel like? You need to ask yourself that question. What does safe love feel like? A lot of people don't know what safe love feel like. And if you haven't already and you haven't tapped in, I talk about this every single week. But nevertheless, look, I'm going to say this. Love makes us protective in every type of way. One thing about every parent, and one thing about a parent understand is this. The instincts to protect your child is a powerful thing. Parents spend years teaching their children to recognize danger, to lock them damn doors, to be careful who they trust, to call home, to stay safe. So imagine believing someone crossed the line into your child's space. Imagining that. Fear doesn't always give us time to think clearly. And we all know in this situation, mom didn't have enough time. That's the wrong reason it is important not to assume anything. We know everything. We know a little bit of nothing. We only going about what the headlines alone project to us. Fear changes decision making. When people experience extreme fear, their minds often shift into survival mode. In these moments, in these very, very moments, people may react before they had time to feel it, fully process what's really going on in every situation. That doesn't answer every legal or moral question, but it reminds us that high stress in situations can affect how people think and feel. Look, I know everybody gave an opinion. I know everybody said what they needed to say. But did anybody take the time to think and realize and rationalize what is the missing key point here? Safe love always means you got to protect. So, some of y'all think that the mama wasn't protecting. Some of y'all thinking she was. Ask yourself, if this happened, who do we fault? Who do we fault in this situation? Ask yourself that. This is a painful case. And it's going to remind you to ask yourself these important questions in this crisis that's happening. Look, I'm going to say this and I'm going to start with this. And I can only be transparent about myself. I can only tell you about myself. The bottom line with this case, or this situation, is the child didn't feel the proper love. Out of all the posts that I've seen, very little, very minimum of people expressing the kid having the lack of love in the home. I'm reminded as a child going through these certain situations that I was once that kid. We didn't have internet back then. I may not dress provocative. I may not show myself. I may not show my body. But can we really get down to the nitty gritty and say, this kid wanted love, and the only way the kid felt love is by getting it through a man? Now, you can say, oh, well, I love my child, and there ain't no reason how. Are you sure? Because some people think love is by money. And I had to pause for a minute because, again, I can only be transparent about my situation and put myself in those shoes, again, because I've been there. Now, some people say, oh, the young man, he was of age. He should have known the shape of the body. He should have known this. But can we really say mom didn't do her part either? Everybody wants to blame the young man. Everybody wants to do this to the young man. Everybody wants to say this about the young man. But can we honestly say mom did not do her job either? This is something that had been going on for quite some time. And by this going on quite some time, this lets me know that this is a problematic situation. You can't just say, oh, this just happened one good time and we just saying mama did the right thing by underlying the young man up under the bed. Really? Because by the kid having mental issues himself, can't you simply say he's a kid too? We can simply say that. So are you teaching your children about healthy relationships? Ask yourself that. Are you doing that? Are you teaching your kid about healthy relationships? A lot of people don't do that. They don't teach their kid. They don't show their kid. It's wake up, go to work, provide. I'm going to call you on the phone when I get to work and tell you what you need to be doing. I get home, y'all may or may not got to figure out dinner yourself. And when I get home, I'm too tired and I'm going to bed and that's it. That's all. That's all I got. Do they really feel safe telling us when something is wrong? Y'all keep saying, and I say y'all because I'm speaking to the people that put it out there. If it's not applying to you, let it fly. So I'm saying, do you really feel safe? I remember not feeling safe as a kid. Did I feel safe to tell my mama something? Hell no. Hell no. I didn't. The realist said, let's see what she says on White Tea. She says, right, teach starts at home and spreads abroad. Absolutely. Absolutely. And we gotta get out of the thing of whatever happens in the home stays in the home. We gotta get out of that talk. That's toxic. Because why does it have to be sheltered in with no asking for help, seeking for help, wanting to get help? Why does it have to be shunned? Because I want to talk to somebody that may have a little bit more sense than mama and daddy, that may have an education that's certified, a little bit more mama than daddy. Why I got to keep it in the home? What was the purpose of keeping it in the home? I tell people now, from separating it from the olden times, stop holding it in so much to the point where you explode. Because when you explode, baby, you done built that bomb by hand. You done built it by hand. She says, BBW says, parents don't ask enough questions. Absolutely not. There was not enough questions asked. Do they understand the warning signs of manipulation or grooming? Did she understand that? I had to even, when this case came about, and I'm going to be so transparent. I had to think my oldest son's father would have been 75 today, if I'm being honest. Judge me if you want. Judge me if you will. I had to go back to the day my son's father was born, my oldest son. And I had to say, wait. Because really, he'd been passed away for so long. I even forgot the birthday. So after I analyzed I said, shit. He's 75 and I'm 42. No shame in my game. I'm being transparent. So after looking at those numbers and those figures, when my son was born, his father was 57 years old. Again, let me say it again. When my oldest son's father was alive, when my oldest son was born, his dad was 57, I was 24. Right? So, as I began to write this podcast, I began to think back. What was wrong with me while I made the decision and while I chose that option? Right? So that's how I'm able to sit here and say, I didn't get the love that I was supposed to get. I was groomed at a young age. I'm okay with admitting that. Some people may not be okay with admitting that. Some people may be ashamed. Some people may say, oh, well, it was just this. I like older men. I done seen some in the comments and said that. I like older men. Why? Why do you like older men? BBW says pushing BBW. She says pushing things under the rug to shame face. I like to say no one wants to be the pie in the face. Nobody wants to be on the front line. But again, I had to say to myself, what was wrong with me while I felt like that was okay? I'm 24 years old, and if you've been following my channel, you know my story. If you had not, I'm going to be real quick, and I'm going to be real easy. My dad died when I was 8. And now, again, making this podcast made me think and realize the connection. So, my son, the same footstep as losing his father. Same thing. My father would have been, at that particular time too, shit. He would have been well off 70 as well. But nevertheless, so I began to get molested over and over. I began to get raped over and over. My mom didn't know anything. She didn't know any better. She was focusing on herself. But then later, as things transpired and went on, my mom found love inside a relationship with my father friend. Again, I'm still getting molested by the same man over and over repeatedly. Almost a decade. So as this continued to transpire over and over again, I don't know what the fuck love was. Because I ain't never got it. So I had to be real with myself. I wanted something different. I didn't want to be a part of this. You know what I mean? So again, not having love, not having no one to show up for me, I found it in my oldest child father. It was cute to me back then because I didn't know any better. And again, I was grown. Let's make that perfectly clear. I was grown. I didn't get the opportunity to say, hey, well, let me see and let me do this. No, he showed me a little love and I ran with that. Now, was it the right choice? No. But it was a choice that I decided to make, and I can own my choice. I can own it. But again, thinking back now and looking at the same situation, nah, sis, bro, I was grown. Bottom line. You thinking it's okay and cute. How can you possibly, a 30-year-old, feel that you in love with an 80-year-old? Like, come on, man. Come on. We could say we all grown, but hey, is we? Is we? Safe love begins long before there's a damn emergency. Again, I said, my mama wasn't there for me. She was too busy doing whatever she was doing. And I was constantly getting things happening to me. It was a state of an emergency. It was declared of emergency. Now, did anybody come to the emergency? No, did nobody show up? I need to say this. Our community need more reaction to this. Too often we only talk about something tragic happening. We're not talking about, oh, well, this man here is 50 years old and you 18. Where is that pretty at? The image is cute. You know, you may get what you want. Let me throw that in there. You may get what you want. But then after that, can you truly say that you in love or you in lust or the final things that you're getting? BBW says we have to protect our children's innocence. Absolutely. Absolutely. There's no way that this 13-year-old girl, we can tell by what the mama said, this is something that happened repeatedly. There is no way you say to her, if I catch somebody in here, again, is what was stated, I'm going to unalive him. That may not be the right statement because that statement may be what's going to cause a conviction. But again, we're not here to convict that. Look, we're not here. I'm just saying. So her finding that the young man up under the bed and then you shooting, unaliving him in the back of the head, he's a kid himself. And some people, again, still keep saying he's 20 years old. Mama did the right thing. Did she really? Let's talk about her not showing up for the kid. Nobody talked about that. Nobody talked about mama didn't show up. Prevention requires everyday conversation. Everyday conversation. Conversations about respect. You need to be talking to your kid about respect. You need to be talking to them about consent. When it's okay, when it's not okay. And I ain't even gonna hold y'all. I seen the TT that she has, the 13-year-old has. Y'all, if you haven't, go, seek and find yourself. That TT that she had, there's no way she shouldn't even be on social media. I am a firm believer by social media still controlling the world at this present time. I didn't allow my son to get on social media until he was 16. And even at 16, I'm monitoring. You need to be a warden in your home. If something get too off and get too weird, you need to remove the doors. I'm being honest. Remove the doors. Take the doors off the hinge. Again, BBW says self-love. Self-love is the key. But if you're 13 and you don't know any better, you don't know nothing about self-love. So which means to me, this is a generational, this is a cycle thing. We need to understand healthy dating. We need to understand, my biggest thing I say all the time, conflict resolution. Stop being afraid to have arguments where you disagree. The key thing is when you want to unalive somebody, ain't no way you should be getting that angry. You can go back and forth. You can have a dialogue. You can say what needs to be said. And at the end of the day, you can say, you know what? I respect your choices. I respect your choices. And I still love you. And I said this, and I say this to people all the time. If you can remember back on the show Lean On Me, when Joe Clark was having a debate or was having a conversation back and forth with the attorney of the school district, and that was his best friend that was going back and forth. And at the end of that argument, what did they say? Let's go get some meat. Why? Because they knew the job that they had to do was bigger than them. It was bigger than them. She said social media is the new TV. People believe in everything they see. Everything. Everything, everything, everything. Everything. Like, come on. Understand mental health. Understand family communication. Communicate with your family. Communicate. It's a two-way street. It's not always they got to call you. No. Show up for these kids, man. Show up for them in every aspect of life. Show up. Show up. Teach these lessons early. Maybe help reduce harm later. Don't let headlines keep dividing us. If you feel the village is dead, you need to stand up. Because obviously you ain't doing your part as part of the community. Cases like this often begin arguments all online. I've seen so many stuff. Oh, mama should be going to jail. Oh, mama should be this. Oh, she did right by unaliving a child. She did right by and I'm saying here child because there was some mental challenges going on. So he may have been 20, but in reality, they underage. They babies in mind. So everybody has so much to say, but again, nobody said the child was not receiving the proper love to even allow, because she invited the man to come in, true enough. The 13-year-old little girl invited the man to come in, and when she invited him to come in, he ended up under the bed when the mama got ready to come home. BBW said, parents need to stop trying to be your friend. Look, I ain't your friend. No. I ain't your friend. We can't be friends. I'm your mother. There's a line of respect. So, him being up under the bed, again, certain people say she was protecting the daughter. How when this was something that kept happening multiple times over and over. One side of this story defends, one side condemns. But real people need to understand healing rarely comes from shouting at one another. It comes from listening, learning, asking how can we create safe families and safe communities? What can we learn? Whether you're a parent, an auntie, an uncle, a grandparent, or simply somebody who loves young people. I don't know nobody I done seen posts and went and said, oh, well, I went and found the child and I went over there to see how can I show this child love. I ain't seen that nowhere. This story, it reminds us safety isn't just physical, it's emotional. It builds trust, y'all. We got to communicate, y'all. Healthy boundaries and be willing to have difficult conversation before the crisis even happening. We can't wait to the last minute, to this last minute. What the mama did, that was last minute. For her to say to her daughter, if this happened again, whoever it is, I'm unaliving them. You came to that as a result. Why you had to unalive them? Sometimes, y'all, we take it too far. Maybe she could have, wounded a leg, a foot, an arm. But from behind, ain't gonna hold. It's gonna hold some weight. I'm just being honest. From behind, it's gonna hold some weight. It's gonna hold some weight to the point we ain't even gonna. I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you. Look, me being transparent, I like to raise my arm because I ain't trying to hide nothing. BBW says safety is mentally. Absolutely. I thank God. I thank God, the universe. Okay. I thank them for me not having the mind to go the way that some of these young people go. I thank God that I found myself. The universe showed up and I obliged. Some people don't have outlets. And again, this is the reason I say, if your parent tells you what goes on in the home stays in the home, get with the school psychologist. Get with the teacher that you feel like you can trust and have those daily conversations with. Get with them. Tell them, I'm not sure if high school still has guidance counselors. Get with them. If you know it's an elderly lady that stand outside every day when you get out of school, she said, hey, baby, how you doing, sugar? Get with her. That's a village. Get with her. That's a village. Get with her. Continue, man. Continue to show up for these kids. Show up for them. It's vital. It's important. What's going to happen to them when you're gone? What type of lesson you think she learned now, not having her mom now? Could or could not have a mom before all this transpired. So this just made the case even worse. What about the kid? What about the children when the children are children? We are the world. We are the people. So let's start showing up for children. Show up. Be the village. Don't keep complaining. Be the solution. You keep on saying over and over and over and over, ain't no community, ain't no community here. The community ain't What you doing? What are you doing? Are you continuing to show up? Are you providing valuable information? Are you? Or are you just keep repeating this story over and over and over and over and over? Because it's entertaining to some people. I've seen some people laughing online like it's funny. Mama did what she had to do by unaliving the motherfucker. Really? Now, look, if it went another way, I would have been all for it. If it went another way, I would have been all for it. But it didn't go that way, baby. She invited him in. And they don't tell her how many times he had already been in. Can you look at the girl and see that she's underage? Definitely. 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 That's when you do what you need to do and you put that paperwork on their ass. I mean, you stay on their neck by putting that paperwork on them. Yeah, you may want to take them out. No, get a hold of yourself, because if a kid lose you, then what? Then what? I mean, you better press charges to the fullest, to the maximum. You be down there at that courthouse in the front every day with a sign. Till somebody hear you, somebody gonna show up. And it's because we keep on giving up. We keep giving up for what? Because we ain't got time for all that. Stand your ass up there. If it takes you 30 days to get that judge to hear your case that this boy molesting and touching my child, that's what the hell you need to do. If I need to gather some people in front of this courthouse until somebody hear me, that's what I'm doing. We have choices to make. And the choice she made wasn't the right one, y'all. Y'all got to be honest. It wasn't the right one. She said, BBW says, it hits different when it's close to home, then it's not funny no more. Hello? Hello? And then you want everybody together with you. Then you want everybody to help you sell plates. You want everybody to do all this for you. No. But then when it's somebody else, it was funny to you. Why is that comical? Again, stand on business when it comes to these kids. If that was a problem and was a problem for so long, when did you reach out to the community? And if it's serious enough, baby, I'm standing at the news station. Somebody finna hear me. Y'all, I ain't even gonna lie to you. My 17-year-old was getting out of control, was getting out of hand. And look, his father is not here. That didn't show up. Look, I didn't stop putting somebody in my son's face. You hear me? My son has ADHD. I did not stop until I got some armor bearer means in the damn community. I'm calling this folk. I'm calling that folks. Can you help me with my son? Can you help show up with my son? Can you provide the necessary thing that I need for my son? Can you do this for my son? Oh, you can't do it. On to the next person. Can you do this for my son? Can you talk to my son? Can you mentor my son? Can you show him a positive light? I know that obviously what I'm doing now, it ain't working. So guess what? I need to get some outside source. Ain't no way you sitting up there with your arm fold because you in your pride. You don't want to ask nobody for no help. We was taught not to ask for help. And you dying in the inside because a damn catastrophe is over your head. Come on now. You got to be real with yourself. BBW said we have to be the biggest advocate for our youth. Absolutely. The youth are the tomorrow. And we know that because guess what? Stevie Wonder told us that back in the day. You know? Keep showing up for these kids. If you see something going on, say something. I'm not fearful of now kid in the community. If I see a altercation with some kids, look, y'all, when I go to this school with my kids, I see these kids doing all types of stuff. I open up my mouth and I say something. Yeah, they not my kid. I ain't gonna put my hand on them. We don't demand order. So they take us as a joke. They're a joke. And I just said to myself the other day, I said, look, maybe I need to come out of retirement and go to school for education. And I'm so serious, y'all. I'm so serious. I said, because obviously some people ain't getting it. If you see something, say something. If you see something, you can do something, do something. I ain't saying run up with a piece on them. No, that ain't what I'm saying. You need to get some folks online. Stop pulling out these phones. We got to stop doing it. So continue to show up for these children, man. They the tomorrow. And we need the village to still be what they call a village. These kids used to have respect for elderly when they walking in the community growing up. People back out the way for the elderly people, but now they don't they don't even care. They don't even care. Train your kids. Teach your kids. Be responsible for your kids. They yours. They yours. And I'm only this way because I'm passionate about the kids. I will feed a kid quickly before I will feed the mom and the dad. Ain't no way the little baby hungry. You talking about who's ashamed they hungry and you ain't even gave them a bag of chips, a donut, some tea you done made in the house. Nah. We got to stop pointing fingers and be held accountable for the shit we do too now. We gotta be. So, this case will continue to move through the legal system. It will continue to move through the legal system. And the full facts may become clear over time as we wait for the results. Let's remember, there are real people affected by this. Families, loved ones, and a community dealing with the loss. Our goal here isn't to decide the outcome of this case. It is to ask, how can we feel whole? Where children feel protected, where healthy boundaries are taught, and where love is expressed with wisdom as we encourage. If this conversation make you think, share it with somebody who believes healthy families are built one conversation at a time. Thank you for listening to the Safe Love Podcast. Until next time, remember, safe love protects. Safe love communicates. Safe love chooses wisdom whenever it is possible. Until next time, I am Phenomenal Mindy. See you next Friday.
The Safe Love Podcast is a powerful podcast with honest conversations about healthy and unhealthy relationships. We break down red flags, emotional abuse, domestic violence, trauma, boundaries, and healing. This channel is about